Psalm 104 verse 31. New International Version. May the glory of the Lord endure forever. May the Lord rejoice in his works. This verse paints a picture of a God whose greatness is not fleeting, not dimming, and not dependent on anything outside of himself. His glory is not like human praise that rises and falls with time. It is steady, radiant, and unending. To say, "May the glory of the Lord endure forever," is to recognize that everything beautiful, powerful, and good ultimately traces back to him, and that this brilliance will never fade or weaken. It is a wish, but also a recognition. God's glory already does endure forever, and the speaker is aligning their heart with that truth. But the second part of the verse shifts from majesty to something more personal and surprisingly tender. May the Lord rejoice in his works. This is not just a distant, untouchable deity overseeing creation with cold authority. This is a God who delights in what he has made. He looks at the mountains, the oceans, the animals, the skies, and humanity itself, and he feels joy. Not obligation, not regret. Joy. Imagine an artist stepping back from a finished painting, not with relief that it is done, but with genuine happiness at what exists because they created it. That is the kind of feeling this verse attributes to God, but infinitely greater. His works are not just objects. They are living, moving, unfolding expressions of his creativity. Every detail in nature, every system in the universe, every living creature carries a spark of intention, and God takes pleasure in all of it. There is also a sense of harmony in this verse. God's glory enduring forever and his joy in creation are not separate ideas. They are connected. His glory is revealed through what he has made, and his joy flows from seeing it function, grow, and exist as intended. The world is not random or meaningless. It is something God looks at and smiles upon. This paints God as deeply invested in creation, not detached from it. He is not indifferent. He does not create and then abandon. Instead, he remains engaged, sustaining everything and continuing to take delight in it. The sun rising, the rhythm of seasons, the movement of life. All of these are ongoing expressions of his work, and he continues to rejoice in them. There is also an invitation hidden in this verse. If God rejoices in his works, then those who recognize him are invited to do the same. To look at the world and see not just objects or events, but signs of something greater. To find joy in creation is, in a sense, to share in God's own joy. It encourages a perspective where beauty is noticed, where life is appreciated, and where existence itself is seen as meaningful. And the happiness of God in this verse is not shallow or momentary. It is deep, steady, and rooted in purpose. It is the joy of something being exactly as it should be. God's happiness is not fragile. It does not depend on circumstances aligning perfectly. Instead, it flows from his nature and his relationship with what he has made. There is comfort in that. If God rejoices in his works, then creation is not a mistake. Humanity is not an accident. Even with all the complexity and struggle in the world, the foundation of creation is something God finds joy in. That suggests value, intention, and care woven into existence itself. At the same time, the verse subtly reflects a sense of awe. If God's glory endures forever, then it is far beyond full human comprehension. It stretches beyond time, beyond history, beyond the limits of what we can fully grasp. Yet, despite that vastness, God's joy brings him close. He is both immense and near, powerful and delighted, eternal and attentive. This combination of eternal glory and present joy gives a balanced image of God, not only a being worthy of reverence, but also one who experiences delight. It challenges the idea of God as distant or emotionless and replaces it with something warmer and more relational. Ultimately, the verse is both a declaration and a hope. It acknowledges that God's glory is everlasting and expresses a desire for that truth to be recognized and celebrated. It also expresses a wish that God's joy in creation continues, that the relationship between creator and creation remains one of delight. In simple terms, this verse can be understood as saying, God's greatness will never fade, and he finds real happiness in what he has made. The universe is not just sustained by power, but filled with joy at its very source. And that idea changes how everything else is seen. If the Creator himself is joyful in his work, then existence carries a kind of quiet celebration within it. A steady, enduring happiness that reflects the heart of God. May the radiant greatness of the Lord never fade, never dim, never be forgotten. even as ages pass and worlds change. Let his glory stand unshaken across all time, like a light that cannot be extinguished, a brilliance that no shadow can overcome. From the first breath of creation to the farthest stretch of eternity, his splendor remains full, alive, and endlessly shining. And not only is he glorious, he is joyful. May the Lord take deep, overflowing delight in everything he has made. May he look upon the vast sweep of the heavens, the quiet unfolding of the earth, and every living thing within it, and smile with satisfaction and happiness. Let him rejoice not as a distant observer, but as a loving creator who sees his work and is filled with gladness because it is good. Let him rejoice in the crashing waves of the oceans, in the steady rise of mountains, in the intricate beauty of forests and fields. Let him delight in the smallest details, the pattern on a leaf, the movement of light across water, the breath of every creature. Nothing is too small, nothing too ordinary to be outside the reach of his joy. May he find pleasure in the rhythm of life itself, in growth, in motion, in renewal. In the turning of seasons, in the warmth of the sun, in the quiet stillness of night, let his heart be glad. For all of these things are not accidents, they are expressions of his will, reflections of his imagination, and evidence of his care. And in humanity may his joy be present. In every act of kindness, every moment of love, every spark of creativity and hope. Let him see the imprint of his own design and rejoice. Even in imperfection, even in struggle, may there still be something that draws his delight, because he sees not only what is, but what can be. His joy is not fragile or fleeting. It does not depend on perfection or performance. It is steady, generous, and deeply rooted in the fact that he has created, and what he has created matters to him. His happiness flows not from necessity, but from love. He delights because he chooses to, because his nature is full of goodness and life. May this joy continue without end. May nothing silence it, nothing diminish it, nothing pull his gaze away from the beauty of his works. Let creation remain a source of gladness to him, a living expression of his glory that continues to unfold and flourish. And as his glory endures forever, so may his joy endure with it. Woven into the fabric of existence itself, quiet, constant celebration that echoes through all things, reminding the world that it was made not only with power, but with delight. He is glad in what he has made. And in that gladness, the whole of creation finds its meaning, its worth, and its place within an everlasting, joyful glory.